Going live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Adamcast. Ooh, I can hear myself. Why am I hearing myself? All right, I can hear myself, but that's all right. Hopefully, you can hear me at home. I want to just show off my little car guitar. I bought a new guitar today from Trey, actually, and shout out to Trey. He actually knew who I was. We were in the middle of talking about this guitar, and he was like, Adam Crigler? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And he's like, I watch you. So shout out to Trey. Thank you for selling this really cool little Cordoba Mini M. It's a little mini classical. Anyway, yeah. So I'm really excited about that little thing. That's going to be living in my car. I won't play it often, but I wanted to bring it on the show and just say thanks to Trey. Welcome to the show again, Savanah Hernandez.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me, Adam, even though I kind of wish I wasn't on for this reason that I'm on today, but
I know. It's
here
true.
I am. Here I am.
Savanah got banned last week. The day after she was on my show, she got banned.
Yeah, guys, press F to pay respects. I was telling Adam before we started, I don't know what that means. So
what does it mean,
people
everybody?
in the chat, yeah, tell me what that means, but also press F to pay respects.
I'm going to get the F going. I am dropping an F into chat right now. First and foremost.
Thank you.
F in chat. Everyone is effing in chat. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for that. You can follow her on Parler. Yes, you can follow her. Sav says simply that, SAVSAYS on Parler. You could follow her there. How is it out in Parler land? What does it feel like being stuck out there?
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing in the world because it's definitely not Twitter. But at the same time, I got to show love to Parler because it is, a platform where I can still say what I want to say, get my thoughts out and whatnot. So I appreciate it for that. But, you and I were talking about how you're like, hey, how are you doing post-ban? And I was jokingly like, oh, yeah, I just cry myself to sleep every night because my career took a huge hit. But other than that, I'm doing great. But, I was telling you how it is frustrating because, you can't really break news on Parler. You can't get the reach on Parler that you could get on Twitter right now. And that's what I used my Twitter for. I was a reporter, I was a journalist, I was a riot reporter, and I really used my Twitter account to break news, to show people what was really going on in the street, and to get a lot of news hits. Like I've been on Newsmax, OAN, Fox News, and I got onto all of those news programs because of Twitter, because I was able to have that reach and that ability to share my reporting with the world. So that's very hindered now, and I'm a little bit upset about it, but we're going to make it work. We're going to figure it out. And thank you, everyone, for all the Fs. I don't know what they mean, but they were highly appreciated. And just, that flood of Fs was very appreciated.
F in chat. What does the F in chat mean? From Fable. I don't even know what Fable is. Cool.
Like a video game?
Yeah. Oh, you know it. Yeah, on Xbox. It was it looked like a cool game. I actually never played it myself, but it did look cool. It doesn't seem like anyone has given me an actual answer, but thank you everybody for those Fs in chat. Yeah, so let me ask, what has they give you any reason at all for suspending you?
No,
do we know why still?
That's my favorite part of this whole situation is that they just completely nuked my account. I was actually on my first day off in 16 days. And I was just chilling, watching Doogie Howser. And then I was like, all right, like it was a fun day off, but let me just jump on Twitter real quick, see what's going on, because I do love keeping up with the news. It's kind of an addiction of mine, and Twitter was the perfect way to do that. So I get on my Twitter and it's not working. And we all know that every couple of months, Twitter just malfunctions and you just can't get into it. So I didn't think anything of it. And then 2 hours later, I tried to get on again and I was like, okay, this isn't working. So I texted a couple of my friends and I was like, hey guys, like I can't get into Twitter. And it was actually my friend Andy No, who was like, dude, I think you got permanently banned. And I was like, what? What? And so he just sent me, and so he sent me a picture of my account, and I was like, oh, that does not make me happy at all. And then everyone started sending me pictures like, hey, call me up, where'd your account go, what's going on? Read through my emails to see if there was an explanation. No explanation at all. It was just I was a person on Twitter and then I wasn't. So that's what happened.
I was surprised because you were just on my show and everyone was like, oh, you did it, Adam. It's your fault. I'm like, No, don't put that on me. No.
Extra F's on the
Oh
show.
no, it's fine. But really, all I can think is if you got hit, it's like you didn't, you were just, you even said on my show, you're like, I try to be unbiased in my reporting. Look, they're burning that flag. I'm not yelling at them. I'm not yelling at the screen. I'm literally telling everybody what they're doing. Now, I just saw a tweet from Andy No today about how these, you know what? I'm going to pull it up right now. He was talking about how these Antifa types are reporting the people that are reporting on Antifa being violent,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So
Hmm.
and it's crazy, and it's working. They're actually getting people banned. Let me see if I can pull this up quickly. But it's crazy to think that it's working. That's
And
the crazy thing.
yeah, and while you're pulling that up, I
Go
actually
ahead.
will, just back you up on those claims. Antifa uses Twitter as a tool to not only ban conservative journalists, but to track them as well. For example, when I was reporting in Portland, as a conservative journalist, you can really only stay in a city for 1 or 2 days max, because on that second day, Antifa has figured out who you are, what your Twitter account is. They use your Twitter account to track down where you are, when you are reporting, and then they mob you. So, uh, they're using Twitter not only to attack people, in their jobs online, but in real life too.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's actually from Ian Miles Chong, and he's a very avid reporter on American stuff that's going on here, even though he doesn't even live here. People like to give him a lot
Yeah,
of
I
gruff
just
for
got
it.
onto that train. Yeah, I was like, wait, why are we all hating on Ian Miles Strong? They're like, he doesn't even live in America. I was like, oh, interesting.
And who cares? He does a good job. He reports the stuff and he breaks news like
Hmm.
like any reporter. Like, who cares?
Like, who do you trust more, Ian Miles Chong or a New York Times reporter who actually lives in America?
Good question. Probably Ian, because he's breaking real stuff that
Mhm.
I've corroborated, and I've seen many different like on the ground reports that prove the things that he's bringing on. So check this out. This is them basically breaking it, violating. Look, they stole the footage from this person, so they broke the violations. Update: Andy No associate Kitty List has been suspended for multiple copyright violations. Kudos to these two. Keep up the reports against Andy, folks. That means, I mean, they're diligently working to try to get Andy No banned.
Yep.
Why? Because he posts public information constantly. You know what? I was just on his page, and if I go back, like, he's posting their faces and the stuff that they've done. I'm not going to get into the details of it right now, but it's like, he's actually reporting on that, and they're screaming at the Twitterverse, yelling, they're doing things wrong. Report, 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 continuously bombarding. This actually happened to me when I had my GoFundMe for Philip Anderson. They kept bombarding GoFundMe that it was a fraudulent thing, that we were raising money for political reasons, when it
Hmm.
was just strictly to fix his teeth.
Right.
There was a comment that he said that if there was, he went on InfoWars, and he was on with Alex Jones, I believe, and said, if there's any extra money, I'll probably do another rally, a free speech rally. And they were like, oh, we got it. See, it's proof that he's raising money specifically for political gain. And it's like, no, I started that specifically just to get his teeth fixed.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he went and did a new GoFundMe, or not a GoFundMe. It was Give, Send, I don't remember the site that he used, but he raised enough to fix his teeth, so that's
Oh,
pretty cool.
good, good.
But he got banned also.
Yeah,
He's
that's
been
what I was gonna
censored.
say too, is I'm glad
Yep.
that you're bringing light to this. I didn't know what happened because he had gotten banned.
Yep.
He didn't have a voice either. He follows me on Parlor actually, and I was like, oh hey, you're the guy that got your teeth knocked out. It's ridiculous that you got banned as well. And I said this for so long too. I don't know when it's going to come to the point where riot reporters are going to start getting banned because their footage of BLM and Antifa incites violence, or it's inciting violence. That's the next step that they're going to be taking. And I don't know. Yep, there we go. Just perfect segue to that. Before we get to that article, actually, I did want to point out too, for the first
Go
time
ahead. Go ahead.
on Twitter, I've noticed that you can't watch videos now because there's a copyright from the original owner. Uh, I don't know, but I've been seeing that because there was a video that went around, and it's this young girl who's holding up a Please Lives Matter sign, and BLM and Antifa, of course, are attacking her.
I
I
saw that.
haven't been able to watch that video on Twitter because it says there was a copyright infringement from this owner, so you can't watch this video.
Oh my gosh. They don't want us to have access to, the news. That's really what it is. The real news. Excuse me.
Exactly.
I say the news, and I'm not talking about mainstream media. When I say the news, I'm talking about real news, the stuff that's actually happened. Now they look at this. OANN suspended from YouTube for, of course it's in quotes, misinformation. Yeah, sure. This is from Rebel News. YouTube has suspended One America News Network from its platform following a letter from Democratic senators calling upon the video hosting platform to ban channels spreading election misinformation. Are they coming for me next? Do they consider me misinformation? Is that why there's an AP fact check whenever I talk about election fraud, which we're seeing? Okay. And I actually have another article that just popped up. I'm going to get to that after this. This is crazy. On Tuesday, 4 Democratic senators sent a letter to YouTube CEOs Susan Wojcicki, I don't know how to say that, to press on the company to ban channels that spread misinformation about the election, which President Trump contends that was stolen from him through electoral fraud in states like Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Arizona, and Nevada, and who knows what other states. I added that, by the way. YouTube claims that OANN violated their policy on COVID-19 misinformation. In a statement from Axios, YouTube said that it does not consider OANN to be an authoritative news source. Who cares what Axios is another news source? That's like someone trying, like one pharmacy saying that pharmacy across the street isn't selling real prescription drugs. You should get them out of here.
And you know what my favorite thing too about all of this?
Difference?
Yeah, and my favorite thing too about all of this is like, all of the fact checks that are probably on your videos that I've seen on tweets say AP has called this election. That in itself is misinformation because AP is not our court system, and nowhere in the Constitution does it say AP News calls our election. So that fact check in itself is misinformation.
Exactly. And that's why Twitter actually changed it from official sources called this election differently to now multiple sources called this election differently. It's like, covering their behinds. That's what they're doing. It's crazy. Let's finish reading this one. In a letter penned by Democratic Senator Bob Menendez and his 3 colleagues, Mazie
Hirono.
Yep. Amy Klobuchar, of course, and Gary Peters. YouTube is urged to remove election misinformation videos that boost false fraud claims, seek to delegitimize 2020 election results, sow public discord, and fuel civil unrest. You know what? Get out of here with that. Are you laughing? It is laughable.
I'm laughing, and I'm kind of also dying on the inside at that last part.
Yeah.
That just the civil discord or because it's just like, okay, are we all just gonna forget how CNN, MSNBC, NBC, all these mainstream media outlets, exactly, for 4 years pushed Russian collusion, and not only that, but said that Trump's events were super spreader events, while simultaneously saying that every single BLM rally and Joe Biden rally actually helped get rid of COVID. They wrote that in their article headlines. Actually, these events not only didn't spread COVID, but it helped not spread COVID. What?
How does anyone believe that? How does it make any sense? Look, what happened to just simple logic, common sense? Where is it? Does it not exist anymore on this planet? Because I'm finding less and less of it as I get older in this life. I don't understand. I get more and more logical as everyone around me. Granted, I've met some logical, wonderful people that seem to accept the truth and recognize BS when they see it. I'm talking about you as well. You're definitely in that. This is ridiculous. Okay. Now they're trying to lock everything down. The whole COVID conversation is spiking through the roof. Why? Because all this kind of fraud is coming out. Like, you know what? I'm just going to jump over to this real quick because this goes in tune with what they were just saying. How is it misinformation when this stuff is happening? Okay. We had that recount in Oakland County, which wasn't actually in California. It was either in Wisconsin or Michigan. I'm not sure which one, but the Republican incumbent lost, said, all right, I lost. And then it turns out, oh, there was a glitch. You actually won. And now there's another glitch in Arizona. Check this out. Over 6,000 Biden votes were discovered false. The error was from a faulty upload from Greenlee County, one county, which showed 22,110 votes, but should have been only 3,000 votes. That's a 19,000 vote difference. What? That's insane.
And Adam, too, not that this is going to be getting too far away from this article, but on this same topic, wasn't it also in Wayne County, Michigan, too, where more people voted via absentee ballot than requested absentee ballot? Are we just going to forget that happened?
Yep, exactly. Or the 40,000 absentee ballots in Pennsylvania, where the people actually showed up to vote in person because they've always have voted in person, only to be told, you already voted, go home. Sorry, your vote already has been cataloged, but they haven't voted. How many red flags do we need to see? How many glitches in one direction, mind you? All of the glitches are for favor Biden over Trump. How? Why? When do we go, okay, maybe it is fraud? Now they keep claiming there's no widespread fraud. Yeah, because it's only in the swing states. What is the term? What does widespread mean to them? If it's in every state, do they only pick? Well, there's only 6 states, so it's not widespread. So we can continuously say there is no evidence of widespread semantics, right? Politicians use those. Well, I can't lie, but if I say it this way, it can be considered and explained to be this. This is what I was saying. But if I get caught, well, I wasn't technically lying, right? That's what they're doing. Clearly.
It's like lying by omission, basically. They're just not going to tell you one side of the story. And, going back to censorship, too, because we are talking about how basically all of this ties into one another. Going back to Twitter, remember, nobody forget that at the beginning of this election and prior to this election, Twitter had their headline news for days that voter fraud is extremely rare, that, all the voter fraud that Trump supporters are talking about, that Republicans are talking about, is extremely rare. It never happens. And going into the censorship, if you're constantly seeing all of this Democrat and liberal leaning news, and then every single conservative who's trying to bring out the truth of what's really happening with voter fraud is suppressed, and you're constantly only being fed one stream of news, you're only going to know one reality. So when it comes to the censorship of conservative people, it's not even just about conservatives. It's about the fact that we as Americans don't even have control over our own thoughts anymore, over what we're allowed to believe and what we're allowed to think. So this supersedes the election. Censorship supersedes everything. It goes into the fact that we don't even have control over our own thoughts in this country anymore. Right.
Well, I mean, I do. All right. There's many people out there that do, and those people are getting fed up. There's some locals that I heard even around me they're like, we know that Biden stole this election, that they cheated, and we will not accept it. That scares me. The last thing that I want is for anyone to resort to violence. Okay, on either side. I don't want violence at all. I don't want anyone fighting. I want us to resolve this logically, legally, and get to the bottom of it and move forward. Why would anyone be fighting for against transparency? That's what I don't understand. There is so many red flags. It's like they've got blinders on. Like, no. I'm happy in my little bubble knowing that Biden won. No, you're wrong. I hate you. You're evil. And it's like, I'm not evil. I want good for everyone. I want everyone to be happy and successful in this life and prosperous and feel that they're privileged to live and comfortable. But I also want transparency. I don't want anyone to cheat. I want the election to be true and properly done, and to trust. Right now, I don't trust it at all. And I know for a fact over 75 million Americans probably don't trust it either.
Exactly. And we have that Senate race coming up in January in Georgia. And a lot of people are very concerned because if we allowed voter fraud on this mass scale, then how do we know that that election is going to be fair, that that's going to be an election that the people actually decided on. So
or any election after this.
Exactly. So it's just very frustrating. And I do like that you have more of a positive attitude towards this, because, you know, that's definitely needed right now. I think a lot of Trump supporters, myself especially too, are feeling a very low morale towards our country, towards our election integrity, towards the people in office, because we're consistently being lied to. And going back to your comment on how people have blinders on, I think that I was listening to Dan Bongino today, and he was talking about how ignorance is bliss. And I really do think that that's what it comes down to when it comes to the people who don't want the transparency. They are blissfully ignorant and they don't want to know the truth, because if you really did just do the smallest amount of digging, you would find out the truth. And they don't want to know the truth because they know the truth, and they know that there's rampant voter fraud, and they don't want to admit it.
I know you're not on Twitter anymore, so you can't follow the president because he tweets. But he posted this. He retweeted from the Columbia Bugle. He concedes nothing, in all caps, nothing. He concedes nothing. Where is this other one that he did a lot of Randy Quaid retweets, which is funny because Randy Quaid has been quite prominently out there and about. Where is this tweet that he just America First? It's just like he's consistent, all right, and he is way confident, all right. This guy, if he thought that he would have already lost, he even said, he's like, look, if Joe won legitimately, I would step down. But I don't think he won legitimately. He's seen more stuff than we've seen, you know, and I've seen enough personally that I don't trust this election and I want everything audited. And I don't see why anyone, if they really think that Joe Biden won, what do they have to be afraid of? I keep seeing, oh, fine, let him count again. I would love to see Trump lose again. It's like, well, first, you haven't seen him lose yet. No one's actually won or lost. But it does feel like they're afraid of that. What's up with this COVID talk? Oh, COVID cases are spiking through the roof. Ah! Everybody run around. Everyone fear again. Be afraid to go out to, believe what we want you to believe. That's what I'm hearing.
And too, Adam, it is very interesting to see how the media, again, because I really do feel like this whole entire election process has been one of the biggest psychological manipulations of the American people, going all the way back to when they were telling us that, expect a red mirage on election night. They were saying this months ago. I can't even remember how many months ago, but they were saying they were preparing people and conditioning people to already accept that we wouldn't know the results of the election on election night, and that it would have appeared that Trump won, but we needed to wait for the mail-in ballots and the absentee ballots. So we've already been getting conditioned. And right now, too, the media is more psychological manipulation. I don't know how you feel about the whole Sidney Powell situation, but, the Trump administration came forward and said, okay, she's not a part of our legal team. Now, they kind of clarified that. Sidney Powell herself clarified that as well, too. But the media took that and basically said, oh, look, Trump's legal team has disavowed Sidney Powell. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's not releasing any Kraken. And then, too, I believe it was called the GSA. Trump basically said, okay, get ready for Biden to transition into the White House. Now, they left out the part, of course, conveniently, where he said, our lawsuits are still full speed ahead. We're still not conceding anything. So the media, again, is trying to take conservatives and say that Sidney Powell, in the media is she got denounced by the Trump administration. And also Trump conceded when neither of those things actually happened.
Yep, that's true. Well, they're trying to demoralize a lot of conservatives, too. They want people, honestly, on both sides to believe that Biden won, Trump lost. Well, I don't believe that. Okay? You're not getting through to me. You're not going to convince me anything. You know why? Because I need to see it to believe it. I'm a see it to believe it kind of a person. All right? And I have yet to see anything that proves to me that Biden won. In fact, everything that I'm seeing is proving to me that Trump won. And in any way, I'm doubling down. Now I think he won even more so because of all the stuff that I'm seeing. So I don't care what they say to me, and a lot of people that follow me, they want some of my optimism. Well, I'm not going to lose it. And I'll tell you what, even if Biden does somehow pull this off, and I say pull it off because that's what he's doing. All right. He's pulling off this. I don't want to get fact checked. I don't want to get banned, but whatever. If he pulls it off, you think I'm going to get all depressed? You think I'm going to get all bummed and sad? No, I'm going What choice do I have? To sit and wallow or move forward and make things better? That is the choice I will always choose. That's the only thing you can do. I think that's the only choice, because if you sit and wallow, you're making yourself a victim. Okay. And I'm not a victim. All right. Things have happened to me throughout this year that haven't been very pleasant. I wasn't expecting to do a daily show on my own, but you know what? Here I am, and I'm enjoying it. And I think I'm making a difference in this world. And I like that. I want to continue doing that. And I'm going to continue moving forward. And I think you should do that too. I can hear that you're a little disappointed about this Twitter thing. Look, Savanah, you send me stuff, I'll post it for you. Straight up. If
Thank
you
you.
want to break
Thank
some
you.
news, you let me know and I'll post it and send it forward. I think people need to know the truth. And I think it's ridiculous that they're trying to hide it from the average citizen. They want the people to only hear what they have to say, and I think that is horrendous. Okay, it's because they can't handle this internet thing. They're trying to figure out how to control the masses with the internet still being a thing. Well, newsflash out there, I don't know who's listening to me that wants to shut me down. It's like, I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to stop. All right. And if it happens, I'm not going to get bummed out. I'll join you. We'll do a coalition. I know Philip Anderson, he's actually in process of suing big tech right now for all the different, they've kicked him off for, he is rather spicy. He keeps saying for no good reason, but Philip, if you're listening, you are rather spicy, buddy. But Savanah, you're not spicy. That's the thing. Like you break honest,
I know,
actual
at
stuff
least
that happens.
I wish I would have at least been taken out for something controversial,
Yeah,
but
I
here I
know
was
exactly.
reporting on the actual news. And, I'm really glad that you made this. It kind of felt like a speech about why we need to stay positive. And
Yeah,
I've always felt this, and I've always said this. I feel like when it comes to self-help books, and it comes to just being a positive person, I genuinely feel like leftists, like hardcore liberals who feel like being the victim is the best way to be, like they cannot read self-help books and they can never be successful because their whole entire mentality is to be a victim. It's to blame somebody else. It's to blame the government. It's to blame their skin color. It's to blame their circumstances. And you cannot ever be successful in this life if you continue to use that victimization mindset. And you're completely right. I am bummed out about the Twitter thing, but it has made me appreciate Parler, and it's made me appreciate more too that it made me really feel like I was making a mark in this world and that I was getting out the truth, and I'm on the right side of history because, all of the people who've been silenced thus far have been people who were telling the truth, who've been effective. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a white supremacist. So I wasn't pushing propaganda, but the people who are pushing propaganda are the ones that are being propped up by big tech. And if that's who big tech props up, then I don't want to be propped up by them.
Here. Voila. Yeah. And a lot of other people are being banned. I mean, Methods got banned, Red Pill, all these different people. I mean, the whole QAnon wave that they knocked out all those accounts, Twitter, Carly Q, like all these, I saw them. I followed them. They didn't post anything crazy. They posted news articles and made fun of the people. It's like, that's not even
you know what I put up on Parler
crazy.
the other day, Adam? I just said that being a conservative goes against Twitter's terms of services because that's point blank what it is. Like, if you're a conservative, you're going against what they say. You're going against the grain. And that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, because they don't want to give a platform for free speech. And so many people too were like, oh, stop crying about getting banned on Twitter. It's a private company. You could have just gotten off if you didn't like it. And what I would have to say in response to that is, first off, it is supposed to be basically like the public square for free speech, and they're protected by Section 230 of the Communications Act. And that's the most important part of all of this, is they should not be acting like a publisher, and they should be allowing people to have their freedom of speech to break news and to just like point blank have their freedom of speech as well, because they were not being held accountable for what people were writing on their platform. That section specifically made it to where they were not held accountable. So why are they acting like a publisher?
Yep, exactly. Even the fact that they're fact checking the president, that's publishing. That's what they're doing. They're basically saying to the world, this is not true. We're gonna publish something to provide context to the words. It's like, whoa. So you're admitting it. You're admitting that you're publishing and changing and letting people know and steering what people are thinking. Okay, it is the town square. Isn't it something that the president can't ban anyone or block anyone or mute anybody because his tweets are public forums, right? Something along those lines.
Exactly.
That extends for all of Twitter. It is the new town square. All right. It's where people go. Facebook, well, Facebook less nowadays. Twitter seems to be the hot spot to communicate. But the internet is we're in this new world now. The internet is brand new as far as human civilization. It's a brand new thing that we can communicate anyone to anywhere on this planet. All of us can communicate. So it's a new level of communication that we're still getting used to. We have to make laws that appropriately regulate this and allow people to have speech and protect people like yourself from being kicked off, especially if all you're doing is just passing along truth. Hey, this is what's happening. This is what I saw. Here's a video of which is mostly what you did. Hey, here's live video of what I've seen. That's it. That's all it is. This is it. I was literally just filming this and passing it along. Guaranteed you were being targeted by the Antifa members that knew you were videotaping them and going, she's passing along our stuff. Report it, report it, report it, report it. You film it yourself. So it's not even a copyright issue. You were filming it yourself and posting your own stuff. I mean, I know I've been watching you, it's like, or I was rather, but it's like, that's the thing. So it's not, they can't even use that argument. So what was it? And they haven't even told you. That's messed up. They haven't even given you an answer. Twitter, what's up with that? Why
I know, at least give me an explanation,
give her an explanation. Come on, Twitter. What is up? She wants to use your platform. Your platform is good. It's smoother. It's easier to use than Parler. Parler, you gotta up your stuff. I mean, 5 million people since 6 million since the election, I think. Some crazy amount of.
That's what I said. I was like,
right?
I was like, Parler, we could have a good thing going here, but I'm gonna need you to, just smooth out the kinks on this app a little bit, because I'd love to break news here, but I really can't do that because I can't even upload a video right now. And I feel like it's kind of in its baby phases. I believe Dan Bongino just bought it out, I guess. So hopefully they'll start smoothing things out. But as of now, again, like you said, Twitter is a good platform because headlines are written off of videos on Twitter. News is broken on Twitter. And one of the biggest issues that I was having too is every single morning when I'd wake up, I'd go on Twitter, scroll through and keep up with the news that way. So for 2-3 days, I felt so out of it because I was like, okay, I can't see what's going on in the world. Like, it's very difficult. How did people do it post or pre-social media? I don't know. I guess they watch the news at the end of work every day.
News.
I know.
The mainstream media actually is what they watched.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
My goodness. So now we got this COVID uptake. Oh my goodness, this is insane. Did you hear about Qantas, the airline in Australia, that you can't even fly in or out without a vaccine?
I did hear about that. And I'm not surprised at all. And I don't think that we will ever be forced by our government to get a vaccine, but I think it will come down to private businesses forcing us to get vaccines, because guess what? Now you can't go grocery shopping unless you have a vaccine. You can't get on the plane unless you have a vaccine. You can't get on the bus unless you have a vaccine. Sorry, you can't go to a concert either. So we're not going to be forced. Yeah, but we're going to be forced.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of people are going to start farming themselves and creating their own communities and being like, you know what? Fine. We're going to do it without the help of Big Brother. I guess, for lack of a better term to sum up all of the major entities that feel like they control the masses. There's a lot more of us than there is of you. All right. So, I mean, I think that's going to backfire on them. But you said they're not going to force vaccines. They're actually passing law for DC. This was a segment I did yesterday. All right. That they can vaccinate children from 11 to 18 without their parents' consent.
Where would they be doing that? In schools or where?
Yep. in schools in DC because
Homeschool your kids. I was homeschooled. I turned out okay, guys. Homeschool your kids if you have the ability to do so, because public
yep,
education is trash in this country. And again, it is just conditioning and re-educating
yep,
your children to think that
yep.
they're a little boy if they're actually a little girl, or to think that communism is good.
Yeah, did you see that video of that?
The
It was like
HBO segment,
freak. Oh, I don't know. Is that what it's from? It's
I
like
think, yeah.
some I don't know, some woman carrying her child up to and giving him the mic and being like, "Go ahead, tell everyone that you're a girl." And he's like, "I'm shy," or she. It's a boy. All right. It feels like she just hates men and was really mad that she had a son and wished she had a girl
Yeah.
because every guy in her life probably treated her like crap, and she just hates. I mean, I'm just making an assumption, but that's what it feels like. Like,
Yeah.
come on, there's nothing wrong with being a boy, a man. All right, and on top of that, it's like I think people are just frustrated that they don't fall in line with like the stereotypical manly man. Like you don't. It's okay to not be a manly man. You can be a feminine man. You can be a masculine woman, but that doesn't change the fact that you're a man or a woman. Like you don't, if you don't feel, that's what I think the problem is. Everyone's like, well, I don't fall in that stereotype, so I'm clearly not a man. It's like, no, you can be whatever kind of male you want to be. It's okay to not be an alpha. All right. You could be a beta. It's a little sad if
But you're
you
still a
know,
male.
whatever, but you're still male. It's okay to be a masculine woman. There's nothing wrong with that. And whoever you're attracted to, who cares? But don't make it your everything, your whole identity, everything that you are is based on that. It's like, no, you should that just leaves you empty because that should be innate what you are. Like this it's not questioned. Like it doesn't matter.
Well,
Your
see,
character is what you do with your life.
right, right.
These people are making everything they do about convincing other people what they are. It's like, okay, what are you going to do when you finally convince everybody? What are you going to do then? You said it earlier. These people are obsessed with staying the victim. So they have to maintain being the victim. So even if they get everything they want, that they can't stay the victim. So they're going to have to make up something else to do. It's going to continue,
Because
and
if you really think about it, everything that they have been talking about and pushing on us has been made up so far. Like, and I'm going to tread lightly here, but I think when it comes to a lot of these racial situations too, say for example, you go get a coffee, okay? The woman's having a
okay.
bad day, she gives you a side eye. Wow, did you do that because I'm Hispanic? You don't like Hispanic people? No, I'm just
Right.
having a bad day. Well, now it's a racial issue. I think
Right.
that where we've gotten as a country, it's a lot of these made up issues from these leftists where they're crying racism, they're crying that you're discriminating them against them based on their gender. No, it's weird seeing a 6 foot tall man in the women's bathroom. I don't give a
Yeah.
damn if you identify as a woman. As a small Asian tiny person, that makes me uncomfortable. And so it's all these made up like weird things in their brain, and they're trying to push it off on everyone else. And
Yeah.
too, the HBO segment really frustrated me because if as an adult you feel the need to justify yourself through your sex, through your race, okay, whatever. But when you're pushing your child to say that their gender is opposite of what they really are, and you're like psychologically manipulating your child to hate white people because they're black, and for some reason the white child has a better life than you just because they're white, bringing children into that, it just really bothers me, like that adults are weaponizing this and using their children and bringing them up now and just like what I feel like is ruining their children. I feel like it's child
Yeah.
abuse. Very
I
bad,
agree
very
with
bad.
you. And that's actually making racism. They're actually creating racists by doing that. They're training
Adam,
their kids to be racist.
and let me tell
That's
you
what I'm
this
seeing.
too. Let me tell you this story, okay? So when I was younger, I was probably 11 or 12 years old. I was at the mall with my white friend, right? And
Okay.
we're just there shopping, whatever. We're looking at the watches. I take a watch to the mirror to go look at it, and I guess a tag falls off. And I didn't know. I went and I put it back, whatever. So we're walking out, and they stop me and they say, "We need to check your purse." Now, my parents never raised me to automatically think that I'm getting stopped because of my race. And keep in mind, I'm with my white friend. They're not asking to check her purse. They're just asking to check mine. So they check my purse. White woman is the one that's doing it. They don't find anything. And guess what? I leave the store. I don't care. I'm embarrassed because they looked through my purse, but they didn't find anything. So I just leave the store. I never think anything of it. But I think of that story now today because if I was raised by liberal parents in 2020, I would genuinely be like, oh, why aren't you checking my white friend's purse? You know, why is it me? Why am I the one that's being targeted here? And I could have easily taken that situation, turned it into a racial thing and had a chip on my shoulder for the rest of my life. When in reality, a little tag fell off the watch that I tried on. And that's why they checked my purse. And I moved on from it. Here I am today, successful as a Hispanic Asian woman in America.
Yep, exactly. You know, and then another thing is like, not only did that make actual perfect sense, you know, it's like, it's weird. I actually half expected your friend who you said is your white friend to be the one who was like, oh, what about me? You know, because it's like, it's always these white liberals that are the people that are the most offended for everybody else. It's like, no, but shut up. Stop trying to be this virtue signaling hero. No one asked you for that. Stop. You know? And then it makes me think about the kids thing. It's like, there's bullies. Human beings are bullies. There's bullies. Everybody knows a bully. Okay. They're always are. And what they're doing, you know what bullies do? They don't give any 2 cents about who they're picking on. They only want to find the victim. They want to make anyone a victim. And then once they know who the victim is, they pick on the victim because the victim is the one who allows them to do that. No one's going to pick on me. And if you pick on me, I don't care if you pick on me because whatever. People are going to pick on me, especially because I'm in the public eye. Whatever. Have fun. You know, I'm sure there's all sorts of names they call me. That's fine. But there's always going to be the bully that does that. Now, is that bully picking on that victim because of X, Y, Z and whatever? As you said, if they're liberal parents that know it, they're going to find the reason. Oh, it's because it's this person's race or because of they're a girl or because they're a boy or because they're not the race or whatever. It's like, or maybe it's just a bully picking on someone who has not enough self-esteem because they weren't taught to have self-esteem. They weren't taught like I was. I mean, I was born in the 80s. I remember sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words can never hear me. Like that riddled to everyone that I knew. Everybody knew that rhyme. No one knows that anymore. Now, literally all words hurt everyone all the time, no matter what. You're canceled. Goodbye. You're never coming online ever again.
It's exhausting. I'm like, can we just make fun of everyone again? Like, I don't care about your gender, your race. Like, I'm just trying to laugh at a joke.
Rest in peace, George Carlin. We need him more than ever. Do you ever watch him? I don't know if you were really privy to George Carlin's routines, but my goodness. Tell me you have. Yeah?
I will later tonight. I'm putting
that is your homework. You have to go watch George Carlin, read one of his books. That dude, he said so much brutal truths, brutal jokes. He makes fun of everybody. He says he makes fun of censorships. He makes fun of anyone. It doesn't matter because it's comedy. It's all free reign. If you can't be laughing at stuff, you're taking it personally. You're being the victim. You're not moving forward. You're not brushing it off your shoulder. You're taking everything personally, and you can't take anything personally. Someone might be having a bad day. Someone might just be a bully. Someone might just hate you, and there's nothing you can ever even do about it to make them love you. Period. But there's always going to be someone out there that isn't a bully that will always love you, and to find those people. Surround yourself with those people.
Exactly. Like liberals, get out of your safe space and stop reading into things and just live your life, man. Like if someone insults you, get over it. Okay. Like that happens to everyone all the time. Someone didn't like you. Oh, boo-hoo. Okay. Move on with your life. Like congratulations. Everyone's been bullied or has probably been a bully in their life. We all learn, we all grow. Without adversity, there's no growth. And that's probably why a lot of these liberals cannot grow and cannot mature is because they don't have adversity in their life because they're in their safe spaces all day long, not surrounded by anyone who's going to challenge their minds or their thoughts. That's why they're trying to ban everyone off of all of these social media platforms. And you know what, Adam? They're even going after Parler right now. If you go on Google and if you type in Parler, it's a safe space for white supremacists and Nazis to spread their hate and propaganda.
What? Wait, where does it say that?
Yeah, go and look. There's a Yahoo News article, and it says that Parler is not safe for your children. And it goes into it. The article basically says that Parler is a space where white supremacists can go and spread their hate, and it's just this very
Oh my
dangerous
gosh.
platform. And they did this with Infowars too with their app. It got to the Google store, and then it got to Apple to where they banned the app. And I really do foresee that potentially happening with Parler, because we have all these media sites now saying that Parler is this place where, white supremacists go to perpetuate hate.
Oh my God. All right. So I found a Washington Post article. It says conservatives grumbling about censorship say they're flocking to Parler. Get out of here. They told us on Twitter. That backhanded slap. Oh, they're complaining, but so they went there. The pro-Trump internet can't stop talking about their exodus from big tech, but very few of them have actually abandoned their long-time social media homes. Yeah, because that's where everyone's at right now. Let's see. Complaining. Yeah, it's like free speech online. Yeah, I don't know. See, it's like I've seen all sorts of complaints about. I only went to Google. This is on Google because I wanted to see what Google brought up.
Bring up first. Yeah.
I had a feeling that Google would bring up like the brutal stuff. Grumbling about censorship. Vox. My gosh, they're Parler, the free speech Twitter wannabe explained. Oh, this has got to be good. Come on.
And then look at the Atlantic there too. Right wing finalizes its divorce from reality. So they're basically saying we can't accept the results of the election, so we had to make our own social media platform where we could go and cry about it without censorship. But in reality, we're the ones getting kicked off of Twitter.
With just a few clicks, it's easy to find even more extreme right-wing voices and hate speech.
Yep, there it is.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You know why that is, though? It's because there's free speech there. And hey, look, free speech. There's going to be bullies out there. Okay. When you see a bully, what do? Do you sit there and listen to their every word and wait and just watch and listen and get angry? And no, you pay no attention to them. You are giving them power by doing that. You click ban and forget them. Bye-bye. You don't affect me. I don't care what you have to say. Oh, let their bubble stay small. Don't
Adam,
give them light.
And I just have to interject this right here. One of my favorite quotes ever, and I think it was by Tyler, the Creator, is online bullying doesn't exist. Just close the computer screen or just walk away from the screen.
Yes.
And I think it's so funny.
That's true.
It's so true. And yeah, exactly. Just walk away from the screen. Just don't read it. How about that?
Yeah, I agree.
And you know what, too?
Power.
I learned very early on that all speech is technically hate speech to somebody, because back when my Twitter only had 200 followers, I tweeted out oh, I love Chick-fil-A, and someone literally commented, wow, so you hate chickens and love factory farms, blah blah blah, you're such a bad person because you're pro factory farming and the torture of chickens. And it was at that moment when I was just trying to express my love for chicken that I realized that all speech is hate speech. And at that point I was like, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want, because it does not matter what you say in this life. It will make somebody angry.
You know what? I'm going to spin the UFO for that. That's it. I'm spinning the UFO because it's absolutely true. And you know what? Who can be mad at spinning this UFO? Probably someone. Someone out there is like, they're making the aliens dizzy.
So much intolerance.
No, sad aliens. The aliens, they're spinning and getting dizzy, probably puking up little purple puke.
Dude, I hate this term because it's so cringe, but I also kind of love it. Cry more, libs.
Cope. Go cope.
It's so cringy, but I love it. Mm-hmm.
Cry more libs. Yeah. I mean, everyone's got their saying, but the left, they can't meme at all. Man, the left's memes are so cringy.
They're so bad.
They think they're so good. Did you see that? Oh man, I'm sorry. I was about to ask you if you saw this tweet that was going around.
Show me. Adam, I have my secret ways to stalk me on Twitter. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
So I've seen a couple of things, but show me anyway, because I might not have seen it.
The guy blocked me actually because it was so bad. Boo. But I had to write. I was like, I don't think this was as cool as you thought it was.
And then he got
because
ratioed and had to block. He had to.
oh man, yeah,
Crazy
I
guy.
get blocked. I get blocked by lefties a lot nowadays. It's kind of funny, but I'm okay with it. You know, it's just like fine. If you block me, I'll block you back. Oh, this one was ridiculous. I'm gonna show this one. I don't know if you know this person, the Amber Ruffin show. I got blocked by her too. Um, being nice to everyone is not for everyone. She goes on this crazy rant. Of course, I got blocked because I said you are using lies to spread hate. You want everybody divided. You should be ashamed of yourself. I mean that 100% because this person is talking about, well, you know, everyone's talking about making up with the Trump supporters. Like we should, you know, bring
I'm
us all
sorry we
together.
called you Nazis and white supremacists for 4 years and doxed you and
Yeah.
your families. Let's come together now that our candidate won.
Yeah, it's like, you know, sorry we did that. Let me see.
Oops. Sorry.
I don't know how to spell her name. All right, so she goes on this person goes on some rant about how like, you know, no, we don't have to do that. If they were family members, cut them out of your life. We don't owe them anything. They are all those things, you know? It's like and we're not trying to burn anything down. And then she turns to the side camera and goes, yet, and then goes back. It's like, what? So you're trying to keep us divided. You're trying to keep us to fight. Look at this. This is from Alyssa Milano today.
Oh gosh,
I'd
yeah, I
like
read
to
that before I got
I'd
on the
like to
show.
extend an olive branch to Trump supporter. I am ready to move forward. Hashtag forward together.
Now that she's ready. Now that she's ready. Just want to highlight that.
Oh, cool. You're ready now, huh? There's so much work to do to heal the nation. No, that you are what's festering in the wound that is hurting our nation.
Yeah,
You,
for
Alyssa
4
Milano,
years she attacked Trump supporters, and now that her candidate won, all of a
nonstop,
sudden she wants to heal the country and come together in unity. And anyone who doesn't,
potentially won.
potentially.
Sorry, he did not win. All right, sorry, you're not
No,
allowed to
yeah,
say that
fact
on my show.
checking. No,
Biden
fact
did not
checking.
win. All right,
And
he has not
that is
won.
a real fact check in real time, guys. That's probably the only real fact check you'll ever see in your life because it came
Boom.
from Adam, a person
That's
who
right.
actually cares about truth.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't won yet. AP has my hey chat, has my video been fact checked yet? Does it say AP has called the election? I don't know if it has, but almost every show so far.
Dude, I loved the other day when you were like, Adamception, and you were like showing your screen, and I was like, what's happening? Yeah. And there was like all the screens with all the flat earth fact checks. Oh,
that
now
was
there's
awesome.
gonna be a flat earth fact check. I'm so sorry.
Oh, there is. Chat is letting me know. It was already there. It was there before my video even started. Why? It's Savanah ban, COVID is back, and recounts are happening.
Dude, Adam, okay, I don't know if you've seen this, but on Instagram, if you go to Eric Trump, because, you know, Christmas is rolling around, so the Trump family is really pushing the Trump winery. A bottle of wine that says Trump on it has a 2020 election results have already been called. A bottle of wine. I'm not even joking. They can't even advertise the Trump winery without it being fact checked.
I'll tell you what. I kind of want to order some. I don't drink wine, but you know, I want to get some Trump champagne. Do they have champagne?
I'm sure they do.
I need some Trump champagne for
Trumps
New
are
Year's.
classy. I'm sure
when
they
he
have
wins.
champagne. 2 bottles? 2 bottles?
Maybe I'll get 2. One to keep forever and be like, this is my old man. I'm obviously like 80 years old holding this bottle. I'm like, oh, actually, you know what? I'll bring over. This is actually a vintage Crigler and Crigler whiskey bottle from 1899.
That's really awesome.
You see Crigler, upside down there. Crigler and Crigler. All right, this is actually a government sticker because this was sold to the United States government hospital in Washington D.C. And so yeah,
interesting.
So picture, if you will, this is a Trump champagne. Be like, oh yeah, this is back when Donald Trump almost had that election stolen from him, but he pulled it through.
But we made it through. We made it through, Patriots. We made it through.
Through those Democrats in prison. All right, that was my yeah.
I like that as you get older, your voice gets like wrinklier and you get more country sounding.
That's what I was going for. Yeah.
A wrinkly voice.
I'll be living in the country by that point. I think. You know, I'm assuming so.
I hope so.
That's where I'll be. So but I'm a whiskey drinker, so the champagne is mostly to go and shake and spray on everyone when he actually wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think that's gonna happen. That's what I think. All right, let's talk about. I just want to bring up this tweet. I said recounts are happening. That's true. All right, this is from Jenna Ellis. Check this out. This is new. Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Michigan legislators are holding public hearings on 2020 election. This is a Trump legal team statement. Oh, can you guys even see that? Let me see if I can open it.
Okay, so while you're opening this, can I ask you this question? Because I'm sure there's a couple of other people who may be wondering the same thing.
Go ahead.
Based on what I've seen in the news, and we all know the news can't really be trusted, they were saying that Michigan already certified their election votes for Joe Biden. What can you maybe expand on that a little bit for me?
Yeah, I talked about this yesterday. So they voted to certify the votes that came in, and it makes zero difference because
that's good.
Here we are now in Michigan. They're holding a public hearing, and I'm going to read this to you because it kind of pertains to that. Because in Michigan is where they certified the votes. Now I'm putting quotes in there because whatever, and you'll understand once I finish reading this. The Donald J. Trump for President campaign legal team today announced that state legislators in Pennsylvania, Arizona, Michigan will hold public hearings on the election beginning tomorrow and next week in effort to provide confidence that all the legal votes have been counted and the illegal votes have not been counted in the November 3rd election. The first hearing held by Pennsylvania State Senate will be conducted tomorrow, Wednesday, November 25th in Gettysburg, PA, where each participating senator will give a 5-minute opening statement followed by a testimony from witnesses who have filed affidavits attesting to the 2020 election fraud. Tomorrow's hearing will also feature a presentation from former New York City mayor and personal attorney to the president, Trump, Rudy Giuliani. On Monday, November 30th, the Arizona legislator will hold their own hearing, followed by the Michigan legislative holding their own hearing Tuesday, December 1st. Details for both hearings to follow. So that means they're having hearings tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday, bringing forth all the affidavits of the people that have witnessed fraud. Okay, so sure, they can certify it, but they can still bring all of this to the courts and go that those all should be thrown out because of all of this evidence. So we are about to see all of the evidence. Tomorrow is going to be what did they say? Wisconsin is tomorrow? No, Pennsylvania is tomorrow. So we're going to see all of these affidavits from actual witnesses, their testimonies, and who they are, what they witnessed, the actual fraud. So this is what I think is going to happen. We're now finally, I feel like we've been waiting for this forever, seeing all of the affidavits, the people that are actually the ones that have witnessed it. They're going to be, coming and testifying, talking about what they saw. So we're about to see a lot of stuff. Arizona. I mean, I showed you earlier that one county had 22,000 votes when only 3,000 votes were supposed to, there was a 3,000 vote county. I'm sure there's more people, but only 23 or 3,000 votes were supposed to count, and 22,000 votes counted. How is this possible? It brought Biden's lead in Arizona from 10,000 votes to 4,000 votes. If it happens in one more county, Trump's got Arizona. It wouldn't surprise me if Trump wins Arizona by one vote. I'm not going to say whose vote that could be, but I'm going to always forever consider it my own. But that's okay. Anyway.
Okay,
so, yeah,
I have a question then too. So
go ahead.
Say, because right now I feel like I'm not as positive about this because I don't want to say like I'm trying to be realistic about it because, a reality is in the eyes, reality is different for all of us, basically.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling that because we've allowed this rampant voter fraud to go on, that is in essence already giving Joe Biden the win. And I foresee Joe Biden getting this presidency, unfortunately. So say, for example, all the votes are certified, the electors, they vote on December 14th, I believe, right?
Correct.
So how does this get to the Supreme Court then? Say the electors all decide on Joe Biden. Once they decide, is it for Joe Biden or for Trump, or does it go to the Supreme Court? Like, how does that work? I think that's what I'm confused on right now.
Okay. Did you hear how the PA courts basically said, we don't have there's no evidence here. Like they threw out, we're done with this. Like, get out of here.
Right.
This happened the other day. Well, Trump's team said, all right, fine, we're going to appeal. So when you appeal against there's higher and higher courts all the way, like kind of like a pyramid all the way to the top, the Supreme Court.
Right.
So when you reach to, the each state has its own Supreme Court. So in PA, that Supreme Court said, nope, we're get out of here with prejudice, which means you can't even come back to us. So they're going to appeal. And because that court said, we're not, we're denying you, it goes to the highest court. So if you start at the smallest, you can keep appealing. Anybody can appeal and continue to appeal until you get to the highest court of the land, which is the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court, if they continue to try to appeal each of their cases that they lose, which is that one, which they said, it's like, fine, we kind of expected you guys to do this. We're going to the Supreme Court now. So that's why. So all of this, that's why all of the stuff that we're about to find out, which we've been waiting for, like, I just want to see what they have. I want to see, if what I've seen alone, I'm like, wow, this seems like all sorts of fraud. But if they are as confident as they are, I'm like, I want to know what they know. I want to know what President Trump signed an executive order in 2018 protecting the election from foreign interference, from fraud. All right. In April, someone got arrested in Pennsylvania. The guy who certifies, I don't know if it was who certifies the elections, or he ran the elections, something in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia specifically, I think. And the dude got arrested for bribery. All right. He was being bribed to alter votes. This happened in April. Well, good thing we got him out of there, but who replaced him? And who else did he work with? And I mean, come on. There's too many red flags. I want transparency. All right. That's what I've always been fighting for. Look, I just want to know if Trump lost legitimately or if Biden lost legitimately. I want to know who won legitimately. And I think it was Trump. That's just what I think and what I believe, So I know that's what they want. They want people like you to be disheartened, to believe that this is what happened. It's like, well, we don't know yet. All right. I've witnessed all year long, ever since I started actually paying attention, the media just smearing lies, all just shoving it in people's ears nonstop every day, over and over and over again. It's like, okay, now we're supposed to believe what they're saying to us, and we're supposed to let them, bring us down and not believe that the president, who signed an executive order about this exact thing 2 years ago, 8 years ago, before he even became president, was saying, look, there's voter fraud going on. We should investigate it. No one investigated it. 2016, the Hillary campaign got calls from Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois saying, hey, there's fraud here. We found fraud. And then it all disappeared. Why is that? Maybe they didn't cheat enough. Maybe she was like, well, I don't want anyone to know about that because that was us. That was we were doing that. And no, don't worry about that. No, we don't need to investigate that. It's like, well, why? But Trump won. He must have cheated. She's like, no, I'm just going to smear him for 4 years, and then we're going to turn this up to 11 so we can actually make it. That's what I think's going down. So I'm not going to lose heart. I'm not going to lose my optimism. And I said, I won't even if it all crumbles down, you think I'm going to crumble? No way. No. I'm just going to.
And that's my favorite part about a lot of the Trump base. I don't know if you consider yourself a part of the Trump base. I feel like you would, right? What would you say? Yeah, kind of. Yes.
Wait,
no.
what was it again? What was the question?
Would you consider yourself a part of the Trump base?
I guess so. Yeah, probably now.
Like more conservatives, I would say. I would say the great thing about a lot of us is that we don't lose hope and we don't play victim. Meaning, even if what we feel like is an unfair election, and I know 70 million Americans feel the same way too. Even if Joe Biden gets into office, my favorite thing and the thing that is giving me hope is the fact that will not demoralize the conservative base, that we will continue to fight, we will continue to push forward. And, the Million MAGA March was such a beautiful event because, they said it was over 1 million people. I still don't know the exact numbers, so I'll just say hundreds of thousands of people were all together in DC. Yeah, hundreds of thousands of people were in DC thinking they were there because they thought the election was stolen. They were there to stop the steal. They were there to push back against what they felt was an unfair election, and it was the most unified, peaceful, just happy, energetic event. Like it was great vibes all around. And that was my favorite part. It's like, we're coming together and we're here today. We're fighting against corruption, but in the face of evil and corruption in our own country, we're still happy. We're still here. We're still fighting.
Yep, exactly. We are. And that's why I don't think they even expect Biden to take it. Because look, if Biden actually wins, we're not going to just let him ruin our country, sell us out to
Yeah.
China, even though he's already said America and China are going to be best friends again. It's like, oh, Joe, no. What, you're terrible. China openly has said they want everybody under they want the entire globe under their rule by 2025. If Joe Biden gets it, that's going to happen. They
Yeah.
want that. They
Yeah.
want to control us. They don't like our freedoms. They don't like our constitution. All right? They don't. Germany, do you see what happened in Germany? They just ruined the constitution in Germany. Cops can just go into anybody's home for any reason now.
Ugh.
What happened the last time that happened in Germany? We don't even need to talk about that. But we definitely, absolutely needs to fight for our freedom. So if Joe Biden wins, we're not gonna just like be like, all right, we'll just let China rule us. Like, no, Americans are gonna get even more political. They're gonna be even more involved and take everything back. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it was a true red wave. That's why we're winning House seats. That's why we're going to maintain the Senate unless they succeed in stealing everything in Georgia, which there seems to be some sort of runoff there. But I don't believe any of that. I think as soon as everything gets audited, as soon as all these affidavits come out, all the even people on the Democratic side are seeing this is illegal. I don't feel comfortable cheating like this. I've seen many different videos of this, of people talking about it. Like, I'm actually this person. I run this precinct, and these people were cheating. And then I saw them kick out the Republican people, and like, what is going on? Full audit. That's what we need. Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
I
All
guess
right.
it comes down to now just really the trust that we have in our own courts and our own judiciary system. So
Yep.
I'm hoping that we still have a little bit of transparency left. And yeah, I feel like too, just seeing the worst of the worst in America when I'm on the streets and what I do follow in politics, it's like these nasty Democrat politicians who are locking people down in California while simultaneously going to expensive restaurants without a face mask on because it was their friend's birthday. Gavin Newsom, I'm talking about you.
Yeah.
It really demoralizes me in terms of our government who is ruling us, because you can see that they're power hungry. You can see that they don't really care about the American people, that they think that the government should rule you, not the other way around. So I'm really hoping and praying, you know what, God is in control of everything. So I'm not going to worry about it, but here's hoping that our government isn't as corrupt and power hungry as they think they are.
Yeah. Did you hear that that guy that Gavin Newsom claimed was one of his best friends was actually just a lobbyist that he knew had been lobbying for over 20 years in the government?
I mean, does Gavin Newsom actually have real friends? Would you actually be friends with Gavin Newsom? I wouldn't. I'd be like, boy, bye. How about no? You're kind of a psychopath.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, the guy, there's a picture of him just smiling, like, yeah, I messed up. And then I was like,
Sorry.
that looks so familiar. And I went to American Psycho and I saw uh Christian Bale with the exact same smile, straight up same exact smile. And I posted him like same energy. All right, we absolutely have to get into some of these super chats because we have been ranting and raving. We didn't even
Let's
get
do
to
it.
the Jordan Peterson woke people getting crazy about it. So I guess I'll save that for another day because I definitely want to talk about it. It's hilarious. But let's get into some super chats. We only got 20 minutes. So thank you for joining me again, Savanah. You are always fantastic. So
Thanks
you're
for
always
having me,
welcome
Adam.
to join me and talk about some breaking stuff if you got it. All right. Chuck Morris says, can we get somewhere under the rainbow? Maybe one day. Ian Hall says, Savanah, run for Congress. You'd be better. You'd be the better looking, smart, conservative version of AOC.
AOC. People always say that. I've never thought about running for
Gosh.
Congress, but the more that people suggest it and the more corruption I see, the more I think about it. So I don't know.
I think you should. I think we need that. We need a younger wave in government because these old farts think that they control everything and understand everything when they're out of touch. They are from an age that wasn't a part of the internet. We are in a new world now with this connectivity that we have, and we have to figure out how to find a balance. So I second that. We should run. Odamato says, let's have some balls, Patriots. Right. Have some balls. Be manly. Is that kind of what you're saying? I'm assuming. I'm just going to go with that. The man behind the screen says Savanah explaining how Antifa weaponizes Twitter is just another reason to ignore that garbage fire. Leave it behind, let it die, and be happier for it. He's not wrong, Savanah. And you're right. It's true. They really do weaponize it.
Unfortunately.
Yep. Hershey says, what does F in the chat mean? Write F in the chat to pay respect is mainly used jokingly in video games when a character dies if something sad happens. But what does F stand for? Is it just
that's what I'm wondering?
the letter
Yeah,
they
like,
chose?
They're like, yeah, let's just F it is.
F it is. F it is. All right. I am going to roll the die. All right. You guys can make a guess. Savanah, if you want to guess, you have to write down something and you can hold it up. But I am going to, or actually just go ahead, type it into the text in the chat.
Okay.
I just rolled the die so you can all guess. I'm gonna watch and see who picks it first. All right. Read the next super chat.
Wait, how high does the number go?
To 20.
Dice?
It's
okay,
1 through 20.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Fractal says, Adam, I have a test you should do. You should start talking about the 9/11 for 10 minutes and see if the fact check thing on the bottom changes. All right, maybe another day. Let me see if anyone has guessed the number yet. I'm not seeing it yet.
Someone said 666.
It is not that. Wow. A lot of people are guessing. There it is. Itchy Nads. Itchy Nads got it. It was 14. Congratulations, Itchy Nads. You won absolutely nothing. Congratulations.
Woo!
I hope you get that itch taken care of. Patriot J, what up? Patriot J.
I love you, Patriot J. Dude,
I got to meet him at the MAGA March. I was lucky enough. I heard Adam, and I looked over. I'm like, Patriot J, what up? And so he says, we will win. That's it. Simple super chat. Quality super chat, though. Quality work right there, Patriot J. If you don't know who Patriot J is, check him out. He's got a lot of good music out there, and he's out there saving the day. Mike Mendoza says, bro, I just brought a Deluxo in GTA. Add me on PS. Well, you can add me, Riverwind, but the I's are L's because Riverwind with I's was taken. Dead Twist says, it's like watching Neo puking on the deck, finally. Waking up. Yep, seeing the true light. JT says, both you and Savanah are spitting straight fire today. Keep up the good work and convos. Also, now following Sav Says on Parler. Yes, you can follow Savanah on Parler. Sav Says, SAVSAYS. Simple. Check her out. She does breaking news, and she's on the ground whenever there's things to be on the ground for. So definitely follow her. Matt Fields, thank you for becoming a member. Bing, 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 bing. Friendly Neighborhood Sawyer says, I believe the election is compromised, but I don't have faith in fair hearing. Who do you guys think will win at this point, America or Joe Biden? America, baby. Really? Do you really have to ask me that? Now, you already made your opinion known. Do you really believe that? You really think
I think I do, unfortunately. But again, remember where I'm coming from. I'm coming from an extreme environment where it's just like everyone's attacking America all the time, and it's just like death and destruction, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't know. I think I have this view too, because since February, I've already been seeing that we were going to be here and no one stood up against it, and people weren't loud enough. The Trump administration wasn't strong enough against voter fraud. So that's why I am this way. But I hope I'm wrong, and I pray every single day that President Trump will remain our beloved president.
Well, you said nobody was standing up. I've been standing up for at least 6 months.
I'm dramatic. I take it back. I take it back. I'm dramatic.
Don't you do that.
Fact check number 2 of the day.
Yes. I'm on fire. I'm not a fact checker, but I'll do it. Don't tempt me. Sergeant Hodel says the Silicon Valley bourgeoisie are blatantly destroying our democracy with censorship and violent Antifa BLM enforcers, and the GOP are being mad cowards, except for Trump. It's terribly sorry, Sav. Yeah, I agree. And you know, it's funny because Trump really isn't even a Republican. He's just an American. Really, he's supported Democrats and Republicans in the past, and it really is. He's in the middle with everyone else. Everyone's in the middle going, what is going on with these crazy extremes on both sides? I mean, I feel very similar to that. What I feel like when you look at both extremes, both of them are crazy. It's that horseshoe. They've just met and they're just equally crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wimplo says, praise the sun with me, Adam. Praise the sun. That's a Dark Souls reference. The man behind the screen says, everything they can do to convince people what they are. Exactly. They focus on what people are, not who. Yes, this is why individual anathema. What is anathema? What is that? I don't know. Individuals anathema to them. Yeah. Well, I mean, you got a point. They keep focusing on what people are, not who they are. And it's really the who that makes a person who they are. Like what is a person? Like, what am I? I'm a human. Okay. Like, why does it matter what I am? Like, everybody's a human being. Like, all right, you're a human being. Everyone
Dude,
listening to me is a human being.
that's how I feel about too, like just our politics. It's like people always try to say like, oh, well, where's your family from? I'm like, it doesn't matter historically. Like,
Yeah.
I'm American. I'm American. You're American. We're American. Like, why are we trying to put all these technical, like, confusing labels on everything?
Yep, because they want people divided. That's what it is. It's easier to keep us divided and angry and emotional. Well, some people, rather. It's crazy. All right, Benjamin says, you guys keep saying liberal, but I think what you mean is progressives. The progressives are on the socialist spectrum. I'm on your side as a liberal. Yeah, I guess technically we are, both you and I are technically liberals. But
see, and I always say liberals not knowing what word to use. So I always try to say like liberals and leftists, but okay, progressives, word changed. I will use the correct pronouns. My apologies, people.
There it is. Pronouns. Yeah. Racing with Paramotors says, since the voting systems is broken, the people aren't being properly represented. You know what that means. No taxation without representation. Let's throw the tea into the water, people. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. The tea party. Anyway, Josh Shepard says, everyone needs to look into a man named Eric Coomer, then look up OAN's video on him and Dominion. This is insane, and probably why OAN and just got banned from YouTube, because they don't want people to know about how fraudulent Dominion software really is. But guess what? They already know. All right. It's going to go to the Supreme Court. And guess what? The Supreme Court's going to actually see the evidence. All right. People should start. People who think Biden won and are celebrating it are probably going to start sweating soon. That's what I believe. Let's see. Jose Leon says, hey, Adam, great show. For those feeling hopeless, it's always darkest before the dawn. If you don't know what to do, remember the power of one. Yep. It's always darkest before the dawn.
Dude, there's this meme going around and it says that, but it's Donald Trump's face in the sun.
Well, that's because he's going to be, he's the light.
That's exactly.
That's what's going to happen. Yep. Benjamin the Rogue says, Adam, look into the Criminal Authorization Act Great Britain is currently passing. It gives their agents the right to commit any crimes, including torture, rape, murder, to protect the government. Yikes. Seriously. Wow, that is a frightening premise. My goodness. I will check that out after the show. Thank you. Frightening. Okay. Kiyu says, I know they laugh at us, but this will be biblical. We need law and order. I have faith in Trump. I agree with you. Yep. Aaron Hamilton said, I recently lost my coffee supplier and could use some Crigler and Crigler coffee more than ever. Crigler coffee is coming soon. It's being finalized. It's all set up. It's soon to be released. The website's almost done. As soon as I finish Crigler Coffee, you will know about it. I don't know if you know, Savanah. I actually started a coffee company called Crigler Coffee.
Not.
It's amazing coffee. I've been drinking it for about a month and a half now, just trying different brands and blends, and it's really good. It's fair trade coffee. It's roasted when you order it, so it's always fresh, and it's really good. So I'm really looking forward to it. I am dead serious. Some people are like, is he serious? He's actually making coffee? Yes, I am. Crigler Coffee, and it's gonna be a thing. Yep.
I'm excited to try it.
Nice. I'll send you a bag. You can pick one. I'll send it your way. Josh Eldridge says, I'm half white and half Chinese, and white liberal friends said I should know my place, and as a minority, I should know better than to vote Trump. Gosh, see, that person, your friend, your white liberal friend, is very clueless, because Trump is actually fighting for all Americans. He doesn't divide minorities up. Every American he's fighting for, and for the minorities that do need help, he helps. He's actually bringing jobs. He's giving he's giving jobs and education to the the places that need it, it's amazing. If you actually just go ahead and look into it, it's incredible what he's done for this country.
And I just want to add in too, Joe Biden wants
Please.
you to be dependent on the government. Donald
Yeah.
Trump wants you to be dependent on yourself and for you to make your livelihood and be successful on your own. So, those are the two paths that you can take.
She's right, She's right. Jose Leon says, of all things in this world, we forget the power of one. It only takes one person to change anything from one movement to one rebellion. Stay strong. That's why I am sitting here believing that he's going to win, that all of this stuff that I'm seeing is actually true because I'm seeing it and I believe it. All right. And I'm going to stand here and continue being optimistic. So if you need some optimism, tune into my show and I'll be there for you. Shun says, I have no hopes. The only hope I have is that I'm wrong about the black pill, which I guess is some form of hope. Also, I want to go to work at the Cast Castle, which is the name of this building that I now reside in. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's really not my place because I don't really work with the other side of the house anymore. But that's all right. But have faith. Be optimistic. If you can't be, just tune in and I'll be optimistic for you. Angel says F to pay respect comes from Call of Duty, where it says press F to pay respect to a fallen soldier. Okay.
So does F stand for fallen? Maybe
maybe it is. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. Nick of Time says if Trump manages to overcome all odds, you should play "World on Fire" by Evan Call. I don't know what that is, but is that the song? I don't want to set the world. I actually know how to play that song.
See, and while Adam is playing that, he will also be spraying the Trump champagne that I'm going to have to send to him if Trump wins this. Okay, Adam, that will be our bet. I will send you some Trump champagne if he pulls it off, and I'll say, I was wrong, man. That's it.
That would be fantastic. And for those of you who would want to preemptively send me some Trump champagne, here is my P.O. box that you can actually send me stuff. P.O. Box 68, Brunswick, Maryland, 21716. By all means, send me some Trump champagne. That would be fantastic. I would never say no to some Trump champagne. That's good. Not Your Problem says, I used to be evangelical, not so much anymore. But have you heard of the Klim Clement prophecy? He mentions Trump by name. It's quite entertaining. I don't know that, but I will check it out. Shun says, I got tired about the back and forth in the news. If it's going to happen, it'll happen on December 14th. I still believe Trump should say POTUS. I think so too. Blacklist Universe says Magnificent 7 will come true. Have you read it yet, Adam? No, I'm sorry, I haven't. It's actually behind me on my shelf. This is my to read books. I've read some of them.
Wait, what is Magnificent 7? What am I missing?
Here, let me. I can't reach it. Hold on. It's actually. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can.
It's very actually cool. The MAGA team as comic book heroes.
That's great.
This is from Mike Miller, who is Blacklist Universe. So that's actually who sent me these. And so thank you again. I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to leave them right there so I can actually, I got to actually read them. I will. I'll break, let me, I'm going to read one as soon as I finish my episode today. I promise you right now. And these are actually all signed on the cover. I didn't even notice before, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, I am definitely going to read. I'll read episode 1 as soon as I finish my episode. I see you saying thanks. Yeah, definitely will. And sorry I haven't, but I'm honest. I'm going to be honest. I haven't read them yet. But I will. I'm going to do that. Tyrannus Cygnus says, from the inner depths of Uranus, Trump has been the best emperor of Earth. Make America metal again. Okay, right on, random, but cool. Nani says, we enjoy you on Adamcast, Savanah. Visit us again. You're always welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Craig, thank you for that super chat. Garrett says, we're going to win, sir. Love you. Keep it up. Your content has been awesome. It's a pleasure to support you. Thank you very much, Garrett. I appreciate that. And Chuck Morris, Adam, blink twice if you're being held hostage. Well, I'm going to eventually blink, but twice in a row, it doesn't count. See, now I can't.
No, he just did it twice.
No, I'm not being held hostage.
Read into it.
No, please. You think that if I was being held hostage, I could go live and just talk every day? No, I'm good. All right, so I am going to sum up the end. That was the last of our super chats. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Savanah, thank you for joining me. You are fantastic. How do people get a hold of you now that you're not on Twitter? Why don't you let everyone know where to get a hold of you and how to follow you?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Parler at Sav Says or on YouTube. I've really enjoyed doing these live streams with Adam, so I think I might try doing some live streams on YouTube myself. So you can follow me on YouTube at Sav Says. So I hope I see you guys there, and hopefully I see you guys again on this live cast because I really love talking to you guys, and I love talking to you, Adam. So thank you for having me on again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Seriously, it's and you're more than welcome to. Maybe you can join me once a week. I mean, I don't know if you know Dr. Carlin B. She joins me on Thursday afternoons on my Thursday
Nice.
show, and we talk about, she's a psychologist, so we talk about all different kind of stuff from her perspective. She's awfully spicy herself, and she's fun to have on the show and hear her side of things. We don't always agree on stuff, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. So if you want to come on once a week or whatever, whenever you want, honestly, I'm fine with it until I get banned, and then I'll do what I can. But
We're all
I'm not
going
gonna,
down
I'm not
together,
gonna stop.
guys.
It seems like they're literally clearing out anyone that doesn't agree with them, that doesn't believe that Biden just instantly should just win. So
Every week, man. But here's hoping. Yeah, I love that. You and I will talk behind the scenes, we'll work something out. And to everyone else too, I'm not going to stop my riot coverage. So, maybe when I go do riot coverage, I can pop on, give Adam some exclusives.
Yeah,
Maybe this is where
like
I have
that.
to give my exclusives now. Who knows?
Hey, I'm okay with it. I mean, you don't have to tell Elijah that you have some crazy exclusive, but of course, I'm sure he's there on the scene too, doing his own thing. So
We'll use his footage and then I'll give you my footage and we'll work it out.
Nice. I like this. Shh, Elijah. She didn't mean it. It was she was joking. She was joking.
Yeah, Elijah, ignore that last part of the broadcast.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. And I will be on the road tomorrow. I'm going to try to stop and do my show somewhere randomly because I'm traveling for Thanksgiving. I won't be here Thursday, but Friday I will have my show. And then, of course, I'll be back in my studio on Monday. So thank you, everybody. You have a wonderful night and enjoy your Thanksgiving. Bye.